didn't play 12 months ago.
They didn't have Malik Herring?
They did not. And the one guy who is not on this team is maybe their greatest receiver in the franchise's rich history, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
See, Tyreek, he was everything. He was a franchise single-season record holder in receptions, in receiving yards. He has the most Chiefs receiving yards in a playoff game. He's got all the records. But the Chiefs, on March 23rd, after great deliberation, decided to pull the plug and put an end to an era. They did this.
From our newsroom in Los Angeles, I'm Andrew Siciliano, and Tyreek Hill is now a Miami Dolphin. That's right. He was just traded about 20 minutes ago. Ian Rappaport had the bombshell this morning on the Twitter that the Chiefs were at a contract impasse with Hill and that he might be dealt. And then it happened. And then Tyreek Hill got a new deal that our Tom Pelissero says is worth roughly 3 years and $75 million.
Just like that, Tyreek was a Miami Dolphin. So how do you replace Tyreek Hill? You don't, but you try. And Tyreek Hill is making, on average, $30 million a year from the Miami Dolphins. 6 Chiefs wide receivers who started in 2022. Combined, those guys are making $21 million total. So Brett Veach went to work during free agency and said, I got to find those guys. He added Juju Smith-Schuster on a 1-year, $3 million deal loaded with incentives. He added Marquez Valdez-Scantling on a 3-year, $30 million deal. He added Justin Watson on a 1-year, $1 million deal. On defense, Brett Veach didn't sit on his hands either. Goodbye, Honey Badger. Hello, Justin Reed. Need more defensive line help? Let's bring in Carlos Dunlap, one of the top performers of the last decade at the position. And then there was the draft. One of the deepest, best draft classes you will see in the NFL. 10 different rookies have played this season for the Kansas City Chiefs. 4 of them will be starting in the Super Bowl. Let's go through the names of this class. You've got Trent McDuffie, who was 21st overall, had 743 snaps since Week 9, playing a huge role as the season goes on. George Karlaftis, 30th overall, the Greek Freak, had 6 sacks in the regular season. Sky Moore, 54th overall in this season. Brian Cook, 62nd overall. He's the one who tipped the pass that intercepted Joe Burrow in the AFC title game. Leo Chenal's a 3rd rounder. He started 8 games. Joshua Williams, a 4th rounder. Talked about him on the show. He had the huge interception on Burrow in that AFC championship game. And then there's the 7th round guys. Jalen Watson, 243rd overall. Has an interception in 2 playoff games and had the key pick 6 against the Chargers in Week 2. And then there's Pop, Isaiah Pacheco, 251st pick in the draft, leads the Chiefs in rushing. He was the 17th running back selected in the 2022 NFL draft. You see, nearly half of this roster has changed. No Tyreek Hill, 10 rookies playing a role, and yet the Chiefs, they're right back where they always are. They're in the Super Bowl. They're rebuilding on the fly, and you wouldn't even notice it if you weren't following them closely. That is how Kansas City is building their team, and that is how they are trying to build a champion. Kansas City Chiefs 2022. Guys, what do you say?
Why don't we talk more about the draft class? This is not one of these heralded classes. This feels like it's backloaded. Even the first-round guys aren't household names. Should they be? Will they be?
You know, the Jets had this class with Sauce and with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. The Seahawks, they had Tariq Woolen, and they, of course, had Kenneth Walker and the 2 tackles. Very quietly, this Chiefs class has come into form. Every single one of them has played a role in this season.
Awesome.
You're going to have 4 rookies starting on a team that goes to the AFC Championship game every single year. It's pretty amazing what Brett Veach did in the later rounds.
Yeah, I think for me, as you watch it, you talk about the young guys that draft from free agents, the core guys. When you talk about Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, like how important is it to have those guys continue to play at a high level, to continue to be good and be on this stage?
Well, those are the guys you pay. So those are the 3 guys making the bulk of the salary cap, and each one of those guys had huge seasons. Mahomes is going to be your MVP. Kelsey had his best year as a pro. and Stone Cold Jones is a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. When your top 3 players play like that, you're probably going to be in good shape.
Well, the Chiefs figured it out, and they have the building blocks done. This is what the Bengals are going to try to do in the offseason, right? Because now they have to rework paying Burrow, but also drafting well, the way you guys always argue, like that's how you build.
The Bengals for sure, and we'll see on Buffalo.
Yeah.
Remember, it's important to hit on these draft picks. Everyone thought the Chiefs, everyone was coming for them. They're the last team standing.
Comparing that to, you know, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, and I know some of the players will argue with me that's LeBron. No, I'm 41 years old. It's Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just this will to win and it's just Jalen. I don't know what Jalen Hurts' ceiling is because he just keeps setting a new standard to what his ceiling can be.
I found that to be a very endearing answer by Sirianni. Like, he acknowledges his age. This is why I think Jordan is the greatest. And people of Jalen Hurts' generation are probably going to argue it's LeBron. He thinks it's Jordan. It's of the utmost compliment to compare anybody to Michael Jordan. But I enjoyed the parallel there and acknowledging, like, we're still learning about this quarterback, as we football fans are at times, that he sets Jalen Hurts a standard for him, and he exceeds it constantly. That was kind of an awkward, clunky thing he did a couple weeks ago with Jordan, but I liked hearing the answer on Monday night.
I like to hear the answer too. And look, Jalen is Michael Jordan. I still think Sirianni is Michael Scott. I still hear some of that from them. And that brings me to this great tradition. My prediction yesterday, by the way, with what we start the show with, was right. Remember late office run, there's a wedding at Schrute Farms, and Dwight Schrute does the introductions where he goes, Mr. Jim Halpert, for everyone who walks out. There's something like that happens now every year, and it's about the Lombardi Trophy. And it is so beautiful, and it's so wonderful, and I think it is part of a new tradition where it's not Super Bowl week for me personally until the Lombardi Trophy, an inanimate object, is introduced like it's the king of the world by Scott Hansen, who might as well be. Let's take it away, ladies and gentlemen.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, what the Eagles and Chiefs will be playing for on Super Bowl Sunday. It stands 21 inches. It weighs 7 pounds of pure Tiffany's sterling silver, and it defines the careers of the players and coaches who are able to win it.
It's just so beautiful. I tear up every year. It's like, it's got this sort of Michael Buffer vibe to it, but it's much more regal and classy. And Scott is the only person who can do it. And I'll even give you proof of that because I'm going to do it right now. So I got the mic. I'm going to go.
Should have bought a trophy.
I don't have a trophy. So here, my mug is going to be the trophy.
What's your Emmy, Kyle?
I don't have one. I'm not allowed one. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, what the Eagles and Chiefs will be playing for on Super Bowl Sunday. It stands 21 inches. It weighs 7 pounds of pure Tiffany's sterling silver, and it defines the careers and players of coaches who are able to win it. And that's the best I can do, but it's nothing like Scott.
No, it's not.
It's not. You know, there's this sadness when the red zone is over and Scott has to come out of the studio. I disagree. This is the grand finale for me. Scott, it is so good. I tear up every time. This is a part of the Super Bowl tradition. Is Hansen introducing the Tiffany's sterling silver and the measurements?
It's the measurement.
I love it.
Tiffany's, and you have to every syllable. Tiffany's sterling
beautiful.
Silver.
Almost painfully articulate, Hansen.
It's so good.
Incredible.
It's genuine.
I know.
So,
it's so authentic.
That is
he
awesome.
loves it. He just loves ball.
I love it.
I love
He
this
loves
trophy.
Lombardi. Yes. Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Sterling silver. A generation of kids to be saying
Follow back.
Yes. 7 pounds. You know, Michael Jordan is 6'6". We all remember that. The Lombardi. We know the measurements of it now. Peter, how do you do that?
You know, that was awesome. We did the reimagined Pro Bowl games.
Presented by Verizon.
Presented by Verizon. Somewhat midway through yesterday, I was watching. I'm like, I think we might need to reimagine media night. I was like, no one said anything.
Okay.
There's a lot of hoopla. I'm waiting for, and then Juju stepped to the podium.
Okay.
Jason, you said it yesterday. Yeah. I want to see what Juju. I'm like, Juju's been toned down this year. Juju has kind of been a lesser version of what we were used to. Juju Smith shoes, sterling silver. Juju Smith Schuster still. Juju, take it away. You saved the night.
I'm amazing. How are you guys? Wow, this is crazy. At the end of the day, you got to stay true to yourself. Be authentic. Be yourself. Don't change for anyone. I just want to rock. Buddy, yeah. Come on, man. Lil Uzi, man. Shout out to my dog, Lil Uzi, man. Slime season. Shout out to my dog Isaiah Pacheco. I put in a lot of Call of Duty hours with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Marquez, baby. Man, I'm taking KC barbecue all day, baby. Jack Stacks, Q39 in second. Then I'm going to Joe's. Then I'm going to Arthur's. And then I'm going to Gates. Then I'm going to your crib for barbecue.
Yeah.
That's the juju we know.
Guys, it was supposed to be fun last night.
Yeah.
And straight faces, everyone.